And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Today we're talking about a game known as Renown. Renown is a game that's up to 8 players. Check. Good thing to have lots of players in a game. And it's a game about basically trying to get favors. There's a lot of interaction where players are stopping other players from getting favors. There's deals and negotiation that can be made. Check. So is it a good game? No. Well, actually, it's not a very good game at all. But let me show you how the game is played, and then I'll tell you why I don't like it. Here's the contents of the game. We have 2 decks of cards, an event deck, a quest deck, some renown cards, and tokens. They're different colors, but the colors do not matter. Each player is given one of these renown cards, and basically this is just to keep track of how much renown you have. You take one of the tokens and you place it on, well, 0. The rules say place it on the 0. There is no 0. I'm assuming you just place it to the side. And as you get renown or lose renown over the course of the game, you will move that counter up and down. The object of the game is to get 15 points of renown, unless you're playing with 6 to 8 players. In that case, you're trying to get to 10. I would recommend going for 2. But that would make the game a little bit shorter and a little bit easier to play. How is the game played? At the beginning of the game, each player gets 5 of these event cards. Each event is either a burden or a boon. Actually, there's one interrupt in the deck, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The burdens are cards that you will play on other players. As you can see, they're red to show how evil they are. And in the corner, you can see a positive number, which will add to the die roll another player must roll. Boon cards are cards that you play on yourself. Those are negative numbers, which will subtract from the roll that you need to make. So we have Mighty Plate. Yay! Torturous Curse. Boo! Covetous Rust. I'm not even sure what that is. Lady's Favor and Malicious Imps. And there's all different cards like that, but basically they're all the same. They're positive or negative numbers, usually ranging from 1 to 6. On each player's turn, they will go on a quest. And you will turn over the top quest card and see what quest you go on. However, you have the chance to skip the quest if you like. When you do so, you get to draw 3 more event cards. Yay! However, the problem with that is you also will take a negative hit. Let's say you skip the quest. We look here at the very bottom line on this card. I lose -2 renown. Ugh. Considering you only need 10 in a large player game or 15, that seems like a pretty vicious thing to do. So what happens in most games? People almost never skip. In fact, at the beginning of the game, you can't skip because you don't have any renown to lose. So you turn it over, and we see here that if I beat this quest, which is Burn the Witch, how do we know she's a witch? Well, we just throw in water and find out. But here, if you win this quest, you get 2 renown. If you lose the quest, you get -1 renown. You lose less renown for losing the quest than you do if you run away. Well, so be it. The biggest problem here, or the biggest number on the card, is this number in the corner, which is a 5. So now I need to roll a 5 or higher. Now, no matter what, a 12 is always a pass and a 2 is always a fail. But before I roll the dice, I may play green cards. Like this one, -3. Well, great. Now I only need a 2 or higher. That is fantastic. Except, of course, a 2 is a fail. But 3 or higher? Man, that's great. And then everyone else at the table has a chance to play cards. So this guy just played a +9? Does he hate me? Now I have to... whatever. And then someone else plays a +10. Well, what? Do these people not like me? So I roll... Okay, I failed. I rolled a 3. Whoopie-doo. Thanks a lot, guys. And I failed the quest. I take my penalty. It goes to the next player. Now, different quests have different rewards. Many times they're just renown, but you can see, for example, here, where you're hunting the beast, who looks like a really nasty-looking cow. Anyway, when you hunt the beast, if you win, you get an event card and 2 renowns. So that if you win these, sometimes you get extra event cards. Other than that, the only way is to skip your turn. This continues on for a long time, and everyone will be laughing as they play cards at each other until you realize that you're locked in some desperate cycle, and eventually someone will win with 10 or 15 renown. I said I would talk about this interrupt card, and so I will do so now. Basically, you can play this during a quest, ask other people to join you. They roll the dice. If anybody rolls the dice, then you get the benefits. However, if all 3 of you fail, you can ask up to 2 people to join you. If all 3 of you fail, then everyone suffers the benefits. So it only helps you, but could possibly hurt other people. So why would people do such a thing? Well, it's simple negotiation. And the game is really about negotiation because you need to say, hey, look, I agree not to play any more negative cards on you if you won't play any negative cards on me. There's not a whole lot more negotiation beyond that. And in a large multiplayer game, it does not matter. We literally played a game where everyone failed for maybe 6 or 7 rounds in a row because anytime someone was getting close, everyone would just play red cards, and the only way you could succeed is by rolling a 12. Now, eventually everyone runs out of red cards, and then it's simply roll the dice and see if you pass or not. And that just brings the game down to straight luck. Not to mention, these event cards have ridiculous ranges on them. Ooh, I got a +1. I'm throwing it on your quest. You have a +9. What? I mean, it sounded like a good idea, and even the interrupt is an interesting idea, but there's one of them, and it doesn't change the game that much. I'm telling you, we had fun in my first playing because we were laughing at how silly the game really was. It just didn't give any kind of, blah, 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 blah. Not a good game. An interesting idea. I like the thought of helping each other and hurting each other as you go out on quests, but it simply just becomes who can roll the dice the best. Bring your loaded dice if you want to finish this game.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.